Hi guys, it's Zion here. Today I'm going to talk to you about carbohydrates, which sounds like just about the most exciting, exhilarating video of all time. And it quite probably is. I've had a turbulent relationship with carbohydrates ever since one touched me inappropriately in a disco in the late 80s. Being a fat child that absorbed fat and carbohydrates, I was blessed with many little fat storage cells, which means that right now in 2016, if a carbohydrate touches my lips, I go oop as it all goes into those fat cells. Except I've got a bit of a problem with that now. I've been on a low carb diet now for probably, I would say, at least 5 years. And as anyone who's been on a low carb diet would know, that's actually really hard to maintain. Luckily, I've got an iron will, so when I decide to do something, then I just do it. But since moving a couple of years ago, I have noticed that I've got more aches and pains, I'm getting more injuries, my energy levels dropped a bit. When I worked out, I never seemed to get any kind of pump, and I constantly seem to be rehab training, basically working out around the various injuries that I'd managed to accumulate. I've come to the conclusion that this is no longer acceptable because it's not very pleasant. I have done a lot of research and watched a lot of videos about the role of carbohydrates within the body. I already know a lot about that kind of thing, but I'm always willing to learn more, and a lot of my education would have come in the late 90s, really, when I first got into it and carbohydrates were viewed very differently as to how they are viewed now. It was quite simple back then, actually. The ratios were very different to what's recommended now. It was carbohydrates for energy, protein to build muscle, and 10% fat just because you need a little bit of fat in your diet. Now those ratios have completely changed, and it's almost, I'd say a third of what is recommended in the health slash bodybuilding magazines. So this is a development that I've had to get my head around, because as far as I was concerned, if I ate a carb, I went from slender to Jabba the Hutt within 5 seconds. And if I overindulged in carbs, that would definitely happen. But I did need to understand better the role of carbohydrates in the body, how they draw water into the muscles, how they help cushion the joints, how they provide energy for the muscles, how they help to give you a pump, how they affect your hormone levels, all of that good stuff. I decided last week I would introduce another small amount of carbs into my diet. Now we're only talking 50 grams at the moment, and the source is whole grain vermicelli rice noodles. I find wheat bloats me a bit, but these noodles seem to be really good, and whole grain obviously, because then you don't get the big insulin spike and it keeps your energy levels nice and groovy. Finally, I have increased my sodium levels. That's salt to you Neanderthals. And I have Himalayan pink salt, which is jolly nice. I do this because I exercise a lot. And if you exercise a lot, then you do need extra sodium because you sweat it out and your body needs the minerals. Salt is not quite the devil that it is made out to be. Yes, initially you will hold some extra water. Once your kidneys get used to the new salt regime, though, they'll calm down and they'll get rid of the water for you. Again, the addition of salt has really helped with my energy levels, which is not something that I really thought would happen, but also my strength levels, and that really isn't something that I thought would happen. But it was quite a dramatic increase. Since doing all of this, I have found, first of all, my muscles filled out a bit. I must say, since I went vegetarian, which is vegetarian except I eat fish, my weight dropped almost a stone, because you know, chicken meat is much denser than fish meat, and I wasn't getting in as many calories, clearly. This actually shocked me quite a bit, that I had dropped quite so much weight. Since the introduction of the carbs, I've noticed that my muscles have filled out, even though it's only been a couple of days. When I do a workout, Jesus Christ, I get a pump now. I'd forgotten what a fucking pump was like. I thought that was an age thing. I thought I just got to a point where my muscles could no longer pump. I would finish my sets basically because I had a lot of joint pain rather than a lactic acid buildup or muscle tiredness. It was just a case of, okay, my joints hurt at the point now where I don't want to push it anymore. Now I actually get a pump, which is very exciting because if you work out, that's one of the reasons why you work out. Remember what Arnold said about pumps being just as good as coming. I must say I don't think I've ever ejaculated through having a pump, but you know, I'm not Arnold. Now I should say that the reason that I'm doing this video is not because I think that it is extremely important news to let you know that I have increased my carbohydrate intake, but because I have a lot of body dysmorphic issues, and me taking carbs is actually, it's quite a big step for me, because like I mentioned earlier, I know I was jovial and I said that if I ate a carb I would go from like 0 to Jabba the Hutt in 5 seconds, but that's what my brain tells me. That's through growing up being fat, being taunted for being fat. And now as an adult, even though I have been pretty much the shape and size that I am now for 25 years, my brain still says that it can all go tits up any second now if you don't watch every single thing that goes into your body. I can't really get over that thought. And I try and fight it because logic tells me that this is not the case. Logic tells me that there are other human beings on the planet and their weight fluctuates. They can eat, they will get bigger. If they stop eating, they will get smaller. I of course think that I am the exception and there is only one way, and that is like the bad way that makes you really, really big and fat. There is also the thing that I find it uncomfortable within myself as a person if I carry any extra weight, even if it's water weight. I'm hoping that the extra carbs and the change in hormone levels will give my metabolism enough of a boost whereby it will help to counteract the, albeit tiny, increase of carbohydrates. I have noticed that I am not quite as ripped as I was before I started this, but it's not extreme and it is getting better. So I think that my body is adjusting to the new thing. If I do okay on the 50 carbs, then I might increase it. Now, if you have any body dysmorphic issues, then I would like to hear about them, especially if you're a guy, actually, although I would like to hear from women too, because guys tend not to mention it. I look at myself and quite often I'm very disgusted with myself. The reason that I am doing a video like this without a top on is because it's extremely unnatural for me to do this, and if I do it, it helps me to conquer this problem. So the point of me doing this little video is because in my head I've got this little voice that says carbs are evil, and I think to myself, well, I know what will happen if I don't get on the internet or if I don't tell people I am doing this, then I will chicken out and I will just revert back to type and I'll end up ripped with no energy, no pump, and feeling all broken. If my carb intake goes up further, then I will let you know. If any massive changes happen to my body, I will let you know. If I turn into Jabba the Hutt, I will let you know if I can roll myself in front of the camera. That's it. Give the video a thumbs up. Remember to comment if you have any dysmorphic issues. And finally, you know what to do. Subscribe, motherfucker. So there we have it, my cheap Chinese. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you might put in instead of the prawns or the other vegetables. Ooh, I want you lot to fuck off so I can eat this.